illuminates here in Monza. It's lights out and away we go for the Italian Grand Prix. Raikkonen and Hamilton get off to decent starts. And Gerwig goes on the spot. Maldonado's up to second. Vettel defensive position. He's going to take back fourth position now. And is he going to take second? Surely not. Yes, he does. He finds the gap and he moves into second place. As he has a look at the inside line, his teammate on the prime tyres is trying to defend, but Vettel a little bit contact with his teammate, but he takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Onto the straight, Rosberg's got the DRS open again into the Ascari chicane, and we're going to take back the lead, even though Rosberg's gone off. Rosberg's gone off. Raikkonen has the outside line. You have the inside line going into the second corner, and Raikkonen actually jumps Sebastian Vettel. Kimi Raikkonen's back in the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. Vettel trying to break early, but no, Raikkonen's broke later. Raikkonen's gone wide again. He's done exactly what he's done last time. We've got the lead back. Vettel will try and hold on, going second corner, side by side. They've been side by side for absolutely ages, and Raikkonen retakes the lead. He's closing on Raikkonen. He's going to try a dive bomb going into the final corner, side by side. They've made contact. Raikkonen holds on, so Vettel's just going to have to get the straight line speed just before the start finish straight. Is it going to be enough? It's been a close race, but Raikkonen holds on.
Welcome and good evening, race fans. The clock is ticking down to the start of today's practice session here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit, the setting for this weekend's Singapore Grand Prix. You have to say, since its inaugural Grand Prix back in 2008, Singapore has been a great Formula One success story. It was Formula One's first ever night race, taking place under these powerful spotlights, with the different coloured lights in the city surrounding the circuit. It definitely makes for a fantastic racing experience for both the drivers and for the fans.
It's certainly fantastic for the fans, but a huge challenge for the drivers. Racing at night is one thing, but on top of that, you're in amongst the barriers on an incredibly bumpy surface, not to mention the extreme humidity that drivers face. All of this makes it the most physically and mentally demanding race on the calendar.
This is the kind of track that eats rear tyres for breakfast, or so I'm told by more experienced drivers than myself.
No matter how good a driver is at managing their throttle application to limit rear slip, they can't always overcome a car that's inherently bad at looking after its rear tyres. Here we have a lot of low-speed corner exits, which means a whole load of energy, heat and tyre wear.
Hey, what's up? It is Dan or DMAD96 here, and welcome back to Sebastian's return to glory for the Singapore Grand Prix. And if you missed out on what happened in Monza, I recommend that you go and check that race out. It was an absolutely fantastic race, excellent battling for the lead with Vettel and Rosberg, and later on in the race, Kimi Raikkonen joined in for the battle for the lead. And actually, he went on to win that race, just beating Sebastian Vettel on a race to the line. Absolutely excellent race. I recommend you go and watch that. So Sebastian comes to a track where he has had a lot of success previously in 2011, 2012 and of course in 2011, where he completely dominated the race. He's hoping for a similar performance this weekend to extend his lead in the Drivers' Championship and importantly close in on Mercedes' lead in the Constructors' Championship, as because of Ferrari's 1-2 in Monza, the lead has been shortened to 21 points. So the battle is looking very interesting as we go into this weekend's race. But now, it's time to move on to the qualifying report. Round 13 sees the teams and drivers return to Singapore for the second night race of the season. With the dark skies glooming over the twisty street circuit, Q1 began underneath the floodlights. Manolith put the back for the 12th time this season, with Will Stevens coming out on top. It was a disastrous session for Sauber with Felipe Nasser's 16th, whilst an MG UK failure caused Marcus Ericsson to miss Q2. It was an average session for Toro Rosso, with Sainz 12th and Verstappen 14th. McLaren seemed to suit the twisty nature of the Marina Bay Street Circuit, lining up ahead of each Toro Rosso. A brake problem for Danny Kvyat left him down in 18th, as Daniel Ricciardo will start in an incredible 5th for Red Bull. Sergio Perez's hopes of scoring his first points of the season turned sour once again, as he lies down in 17th, whilst teammate Nico Hülkenberg was in the top 10, once again in 8th. Williams' lack of cornering speed came back to haunt them, with Bottas 7th and Massa 10th. Just like in Italy, Lotus were the stars of qualifying once again, as both cars made Q3, with Romain Grosjean starting an excellent 6th on the grid. Neither Mercedes made the front row for the first time this season, but Lewis Hamilton interestingly set his fastest lap time on the prime tyres. This meant that Ferrari would fill the front row for the first time this season, and Sebastian Vettel collected the team's third consecutive pole. Could this be the chance for Ferrari to make serious gains on Mercedes' lead in the Constructors' Championship?
It's Sunday evening here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit, and the cars are being prepared for what is going to be a fascinating event. It's time for the Singapore Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel is in the driving seat for today's race. He starts in pole position and has the advantage of starting on the clean side of the grid. If he gets off to a good start, he could be untouchable.
It's certainly better for a driver to be out in front, as they're able to drive without having to contend with the dirty air and overheating caused by being sat behind another car.
There's been little to separate the Mercedes and Ferrari teams so far this year. They've been fairly evenly matched throughout.
Who goes on to win this title could all come down to who develops the car best from here on in. Each team will be working flat out back at their factories, trying to gain the slightest edge.
So it's another pole position for Sebastian Vettel. Like I mentioned previously, this is a strong track of his. He's won here 3 times before, and he's looking to make it another one here today. As you can see on the screen, he'll be running a 3-stop strategy, 2 stints on the options, and running the final stint on the prime tyres. But as the lights illuminate above the drivers here at Marina Bay Street Circuit in Singapore, and when they go out, we're racing! So pause that for Sebastian Vettel. He's got a lot of wheel spin off the line. It looks like Kimi Räikkönen's going to go into turn 1 in the lead. Both Mercedes side by side have made contact. Sebastian Vettel looks like he's made contact with Lewis Hamilton, but he holds on to second position. Kimi Räikkönen, however, has had a fantastic start and has taken the lead of the Singapore Grand Prix. Can he make it back-to-back victories? As we remember, he won last time out in Monza, and he's looking good at the minute to make it another one here in Singapore. But obviously, we've still got 31 laps of this Grand Prix, so anything can happen as Sebastian Vettel holds on to the 2 Mercedes drivers behind. It's a Ferrari 1-2, followed by 2 Mercedes in 3rd and 4th. And this is exactly what Ferrari need if they want to close in on Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship. As we know in Monza, with their 1-2 finish, they managed to close in dramatically on Mercedes' Championship lead to 21 points to complete the first lap here at Singapore. And Kimi Räikkönen still leads half a second ahead of Sebastian Vettel. But interestingly, Lewis Hamilton is almost 2 seconds off the Championship leader. So that's going to be very interesting. It seems that Ferrari have a better pace than Mercedes around this track. And as we go over the Anderson Bridge now, it's still Kimi Räikkönen who leads, but Sebastian can try and make a move up the inside, but Räikkönen holds on around the outside. Räikkönen had the better line than his teammate around the outside and keeps the lead of the Singapore Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel still holding on to second, with Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg, I believe, battling out behind them. So it could be an interesting battle for 3rd and 1st here at Singapore. As we move on to lap 3 now, Sebastian Vettel has set the fastest lap of the race, and he's got the DRS on his teammate, but he just can't catch up to his teammate. I think he wasn't getting the best line out of the corner just before the activation point, and that seems to have cost him a little bit as he cuts that corner slightly. I don't know what he was doing. He's just over a second behind his teammate, so he needs to try and find a way to catch up in the next few laps. But as we move on to lap 7, not a lot at all happened. Sebastian's been struggling with tyre wear and Kimi's been pulling away. Nico Rosberg managed to pass his teammate Lewis Hamilton, started on the prime tyres, and is now catching up with Sebastian as we go into turn 14, I think. And Rosberg tries to make a move, but he's made contact and he's spun! That's a disaster for Nico Rosberg, and that is going to be crucial for the championship because he's going to drop back. I don't think that Rosberg will be finishing on the podium, I don't think. But there you can see, he tried to make a move. I don't think there was anything that Sebastian could do, really. It just seemed that Rosberg was trying to make an over-ambitious move and then made contact with the back of Vettel. I'm not really too sure. Just tell me what you guys think in the comment section. Was that Sebastian's fault or was it Nico's? I really don't know. But it looked like Nico tried to make a move inside. I don't think Sebastian saw him, really. I don't think there's anything that he could have done. As we go on, well, we stay on lap 7 actually, and we go into the pit lane now. Sebastian, well, very interesting line to the pits. Obviously a very hard pit lane to actually get into, as he actually makes his first pit stop now. Kimi Räikkönen obviously staying out, so Sebastian is going to try and get an undercut on his teammate as he exits pits now on another set of option tyres. And I believe someone else coming to pits. I think that was Lewis Hamilton. I really don't know. It might be someone else, but I honestly have no idea. And I think it was actually because Jenson Button is going down the pit straight. Jenson Button has taken second for McLaren Honda. I don't think those words should be in the same sentence. But yeah, Jenson Button is actually in second. He still is yet to pit, but it looks like Jenson Button could be scoring points. But now as we actually have a look for battle for the lead now, and Sebastian Vettel has been stuck behind Danny Kvyat. He's cut that corner slightly. Kvyat driving very slowly. Don't know what he's doing, but Vettel does eventually get past Kvyat because he is going to pit up along with Felipe Nasr. Sebastian Vettel moves into 3rd position now. Jenson Button's in the pits. Kimi Räikkönen is just at pit exit. Kimi Räikkönen retains the lead but has Sebastian closed to the back of his teammate? I don't think he has. I think he's the same distance that he was before the pit stop on his teammate Raikkonen. And there you can see Raikkonen is ahead and still in the lead of the Grand Prix. Move on to lap 11 now, and Sebastian this time has been catching up on his fresh set of option tyres. This is the DRS wide open. He goes into 7th gear, and is he going to make a move to going in on his teammate into turn 1? He is, forcing Raikkonen slightly wide, and Sebastian Vettel moves into the lead of the Singapore Grand Prix. Hopefully he can stay down to the end, and he'll make a huge gain on his championship rival Nico Rosberg in the Drivers' Championship. On to lap 13, however, and Kimi Raikkonen having a look at the inside. He's going to try and take back the lead off Sebastian Vettel, and it looks like he's done it. Kimi Raikkonen once again leads the Grand Prix, and he has the DRS as well. And now Lewis Hamilton is for DRS. He's going to overtake Vettel, and Lewis Hamilton has taken second. Sebastian Vettel dropping back down third, but he holds on to position for Lewis Hamilton. He stays in second position, but Lewis Hamilton's not keeping up to go at the inside. Lewis Hamilton trying to pass Vettel again, and he's made contact, and he's hit the wall. He's lost part of his front wing. Another shame for Mercedes team. Both their drivers have made contact with Vettel. Once again, I don't know if that was Sebastian's fault. I think Lewis just tried to make another risky move, and don't think Sebastian saw him. But Lewis Hamilton has lost his part of his front wing, so that's going to affect his performance. But we have a look at we move on to lap 14 now, and Sebastian Vettel pitting once again for another set of the option tyres, I do believe. Kimi Raikkonen stays in the lead. He's going to try and find an undercut yet again. Hopefully it will work a lot better than last time. As we go into the pit lane now, it's another set of the option tyres, and Valtteri Bottas goes down the straight. He takes second position, and we'll actually have a look at what happened with Valtteri Bottas, because he is now the favourite to take the final podium position. It looks for certain it's going to be a Ferrari 1-2 here in Singapore, and Valtteri Bottas actually moves into third position. We're going to have a little replay now. So what happened with Lewis Hamilton actually after he lost his front wing. And we're having a look. We're on board with the Red Bull driver Daniel Ricciardo, who is actually going to go and take third position, but he doesn't see Lewis Hamilton. He crashes into the back of the Mercedes driver, and Valtteri Bottas, as you see there, moves into third position. He's second position now, but it will be third as Vettel goes down the pit straight. Kimi Raikkonen is just at pit exit now, and Vettel's got the outside, but Vettel, I think, has actually jumped his teammate just. Sebastian Vettel retakes the lead of the Singapore Grand Prix, and could we see another battle towards the end, just like we did in Monza with both Ferraris? But no, Vettel goes wide at turn 16. Raikkonen takes the lead back of the Singapore Grand Prix. Vettel's down second. Luckily, he hasn't suffered any damage to the car, and he's hopefully going to now push once again to his teammate Raikkonen and get that lead back. He wants to get revenge on his teammate to what happened last time in Monza. But we move on to lap 19, and he's actually dropped time to Kimi Raikkonen. He's dropped a second to him, and as we see now going down for start finish yet again on lap 21, and he has actually caught up once again. He's got the DRS to try and make another move into turn 1, and he takes the lead back off Raikkonen. Sebastian Vettel moving back into P1. His battle for the lead is just like last time at Monza, fantastic, as he moves into the pit lane once again. It's pit for the final time for the prime tyres. Valtteri Bottas goes through in second position, and I don't know when Nico Rosberg is. I think that might be him in the pits, but I honestly have no idea. But Vettel exits the pit lane in third position, and can he get the lead back off Kimi Raikkonen once him and Bottas pit? As we go on to lap 22, Bottas is in the pits. On to lap 23, just crossing the line. Raikkonen's at pit exit, and Vettel easily stays ahead of his teammate to keep the lead of the Singapore Grand Prix. And is he now heading towards his 5th victory of the season and revenge on his teammate Raikkonen to what happened last time out in Monza? But we move on to lap 24. Raikkonen has the DRS and the better line, and Raikkonen takes the lead back off Vettel. Rosberg's in third position, but Raikkonen holds the line as Vettel tries to defend it around the inside. Raikkonen's actually taking the lead back. Another brilliant battle between the two Ferrari drivers. Sebastian Vettel again trying to make a move, but no, he just can't. Raikkonen holds on to the lead, and is Raikkonen going to take his second consecutive victory? We honestly don't know. Vettel's trying to come back in into turn 1. Vettel takes the lead back off Kimi Raikkonen. As we go into turn 3 now, Vettel does hold on to the lead. An amazing battle between the two Ferraris we're having. On to lap 25. Staying on lap 25. Raikkonen has a better line around Sebastian Vettel at the last corner. Vettel having a poor, I think Vettel had a poor line. Raikkonen takes the lead once again back off Sebastian Vettel. Going over the bridge. Is Vettel going to make another move, just like he did earlier in the Grand Prix, into the left-hander? No, Raikkonen holds on. A carbon copy of what happened early on in the race, and Sebastian just can't make it stick round that corner. But on to lap 26, Raikkonen's pulling away slightly. Vettel had another poor line out of that last corner, and that's allowed Nico Rosberg to catch up. There's contact between the two cars. Vettel's almost gone off into the barrier. Rosberg takes seconds, And is Vettel's chances for podium pretty much done? Well, he's still in third position, a long way ahead of Valtteri Bottas. We go onto a helicopter cam. There is Nico Rosberg. Vettel braking very late, and this time, just like he's failed to do on his teammates, he actually takes the position of Nico Rosberg. Rosberg hitting the wall. I don't know if he actually had front wing damage, but move on to the lap before the ultimate lap even, and Vettel makes a move at the inside of Raikkonen yet again to turn 1, and he takes the lead again. The tyres going off. But I think the tyres should last until the end of the Grand Prix. As we go into turn 4, Sebastian has been struggling with this corner for the entire race, as he just can't get the perfect line, and it allows the driver behind to get a better slipstream straight line speed and pass him with the DRS, just like Kimi Raikkonen is about to do. And yes, he does. Raikkonen takes the lead back at the Singapore Grand Prix. And could we see a repeat of Monza? Is Raikkonen going to take another win, or can Vettel get back the position with only 3 laps to go? It's going to be an ever close battle towards the end. We don't know what's going to happen, but we move on to lap 30. We're just about to start the final lap of the Grand Prix. We go into the final corner. Vettel has had a much better exit than Kimi Raikkonen. He seems to have better traction around that corner than his teammate, and he's going to try and make a move going into turn 1. And yes, he does. Sebastian Vettel does take lead on the final lap of the Grand Prix. A crucial move, but he goes very, very wide at turn 3, and that could cost him. He's approaching turn 4. Like I mentioned earlier, he's been struggling with that corner for the entire race, and it's been slightly better than previous attempts, but I think Kimi Raikkonen is still going to catch up. Yes, but DRS wide open. He's catching up at a massive rate now as we go around. As he goes around the outside, he's already taken the lead. Kimi Raikkonen leads the Singapore Grand Prix on the last lap. Sebastian, he just breaks too early, and that could be his last chance of taking the lead of this Grand Prix. Is Kimi Raikkonen going to take another victory in this fairly exciting Singapore Grand Prix on the final lap of the race? Sebastian trying to have another look. He's going to try and make a lunge going into the left-hander, and he's done it! What a way to take the lead of the Grand Prix. He attempted that move 2 times previously, both of them failed, but now he's actually made it stick, and on a final lap as well. As we go into the final few corners of this Grand Prix, it's been an exciting race here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit as Sebastian Vettel exits the final corner and wins in Singapore. Another fantastic battle between the 2 Ferraris, and another 1-2. This time it's Sebastian Vettel leading the way, with Kimi Raikkonen and Valtteri Bottas taking 3rd, which means for the first time since Australia, Mercedes have failed to finish on the podium. Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg taking 4th and 5th respectively. Felipe Massa takes 6th, followed by Ricciardo, Jenson Button, Carlos Sainz and Sergio Perez, who finally scores a point this season of career mode. A brilliant race for him. As we move on to the Drivers' Championship, and with both Mercedes drivers finishing off the podium, Sebastian Vettel extends his lead to 26 points ahead of his closest championship rival Nico Rosberg. Lewis Hamilton stays in 3rd position. However, Valtteri Bottas and Kimi Raikkonen are closing in on the defending world champion. The rest of the top 10 stays the same, and Jenson Button has interestingly moved up to 11th place in the standings and only is 1 point off 10th position. Romain Grosjean. As we move on to the Constructors' Championship, and well, we can't get closer than that really. Ferrari and Mercedes equal on points with 6 rounds to go. Next to Ferrari's 2nd consecutive 1-2 finish, Mercedes having both cars off the podium today. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens in Suzuka next time out, but I really hope you enjoyed today's race, guys. Now it's time to move on to the podium. It's a Ferrari 1-2 for the 2nd consecutive race. This time it's Sebastian Vettel leading away from teammate Kimi Raikkonen 2nd. Leaving Mercedes on the podium. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens in the Constructors' Championship fight to move on to the next round in Japan. But I really hope you've enjoyed today's video, guys. If you have, please leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Until next time, this has been DMath96, and I'll catch you guys next time for the Japanese Grand Prix.